You're going to want to stick around for this one. Just hear me out. A couple days ago, I did a video response of CNN's footage where they showed allegedly the release of a captive in Syria. We're going to watch that footage, and we're going to watch it from a different camera angle than what I did the other video on. Now, that video I had to take down to fix the audio, but then this new news came out, and I pumped the brakes, and I'm just making this video now instead. You guys are going to want to stay for this. So we're going to watch this. I'm going to tell you why I think my initial thoughts of this video, and then we're going to get into what actually happened, because I was close in my initial assumptions. So I'm still going to give you the initial thoughts, and then I'm going to break down where it actually went from there and what we know now. So let's watch this footage. This is the same footage from a different angle, so it's the same scene. It's just from a different camera angle.
I can't tell though, it might just be a blanket, but it's the only cell that's locked. Is he gonna shoot it?
The guard makes us turn the camera off while he shoots the lock off the cell door.
Clarissa?
We go in to get a closer look. It's still not clear if there is something under the blanket.
Oh, it moved. Is there someone there? I thought I saw it move. Is someone there? Or is it just a blanket? I don't know.
Hello?
Okay, let's just go.
I'm a civilian, he says. I'm a civilian. He tells the fighter he's from the city of Homs and has been in the cell for 3 months.
Okay, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
He clutches my arm tightly with both hands.
Does anyone have any water? Water. My. Okay, it's water. It's water. Okay. Okay. Okay, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
All right, so here is my initial assessment that this footage was filmed. That's my theory. My original assessment, my original theory was this is a fake, like they staged this entire thing. And here's one of the reasons I thought that essentially. We're going to go in. The first thing, the problem is CNN's ratings are shit. Their credibility is absolutely tanked. They have nothing. No one trusts them at all for anything. And this is going to make it worse. Like I said, stick around. We do get there. But you're going to want to hear my breakdown first of why I thought this. Now, right away,
I can't tell though, it might just be a blanket, but it's the only cell that's locked.
they're supposed to be there with these rebels. Is he going to shoot the
The
lock?
guard makes us turn the camera off while he shoots the lock off.
So, allegedly, they shot the lock off this prison cell, okay? When they get in, there's a man sleeping in a blanket underneath a blanket. Just stone asleep, allegedly. That's what they were saying, that he was asleep. That is an AK-47 or some derivative thereof firing, I'm guessing, a 7.62 by 39 round. That's a very loud round in a small space. It's not a quiet round outside. It would be deafening inside of that building. So they turned the camera off because they didn't do that. That door was not locked. They didn't shoot the lock off. They staged it, is my thought. It gets worse. But I continue.
Cell door.
Move up. They get in. She's the first person to go in. Makes no sense whatsoever.
It's still not clear if there is something under the blanket.
She makes a big show of it. Talks it over.
Is someone there?
No real movement. Guy's asleep. Napping his life away here. When they finally get a man in there with a gun pointed at him,
Hello?
which I'm not sure the gun is armed, like he's got ammo in it. He doesn't look like he's that concerned about it. He wouldn't be having civilians in the room. His finger's not on the trigger. Listen, it's okay. We're journalists. We're journalists.
I'm a civilian.
Look how clean this guy is. He's allegedly been in there for 4 months. And the footage we watched was a little longer from the different angle. He talks about afterwards, they continue to interview him, and he says that he was kidnapped, blah, 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 or captured, and that he hasn't seen his wife and family in days, all this stuff. He's got trimmed, clean nails, like cut down, trimmed. He's fully said he hasn't had food and water allegedly in 4 days. This guy doesn't have any signs of being dehydrated or malnourished whatsoever. He looks like he's in great health. The pallor of his skin is good. After I posted the video, I noticed other people were noticing the same shit. And it makes sense because this doesn't make sense if this is real footage. But the fake footage idea here, guys, stay with me. This is not the biggest problem. It gets a lot worse. It gets a lot worse than CNN just tanking their credibility. We will get there, though. I want to insult these guys a little bit more while we're at it because picking on journalists, that's the new meta. Let's be real. We move forward here. He's moving fine. Here, you see her look at the camera. Perfect time. Is the camera looking? Watch her reaction. Oh, waited for her cue. Didn't realize the camera was already looking at her eyeball. This chick is a fraud. I'm 100% convinced that that's the case. Can I prove it? No, but it gets worse. Don't worry, because we know for a fact they fucked up, even if they didn't fake this footage.
He tells the fighter he's from the city of Humps and has been in the cell for...
All the fake acting. Crisis acting at its finest. Now, Moo, how can it get worse from here? Because, again, there's more that goes on in the footage. It's longer. I didn't want to draw that out because I wanted to get to the new, what actually happened, the new revelation of what actually happened here. Not only do I think this is staged, but they couldn't have found a worse person to stage it, essentially. Essentially, I thought they were staging this with another Syrian rebel that they had placed in there. Because look, the Assad regime was bad. It's not going to get any better with the Syrian rebels running this thing, okay? We're going to have to keep close ties on terrorists. They are not friends of America. But we'll move forward here and go into why this is worse. So the person they released wasn't a Syrian refuge, a rebel, or a prisoner even. It was this guy. The alleged prisoner who was found by CNN reporter Clarissa Ward in Damascus is Salama Mohammed Salama. He's a junior officer at Assad Intelligence. His office was in Al Bayada in my city, Homs. So he said that he was from Homs. He used to blackmail the families and make money off their kids. Okay, now this gets better. Here's the news article. This is from International Business Times. Who is Salama Mohammed Salama? The prisoner CNN freed from Syrian prison was Assad's intelligence officer who killed and tortured civilians. The man claimed he was taken from his home in Homs, arrested 3 months ago and interrogated by about his phone contacts. He does say that in the larger footage. You see this photo here that shows him being so happy to look outside. I'll bring that up for you right now. It just shows him being so thrilled to be out in the open finally, if you're to believe that load of horse sense. And this picture is taken from the part of the footage that we watched earlier in the other video, where his hands were up and you could see how clean his fingernails were, how well kept they were. This man was in no way ever a prisoner in his situation here. And it continues on. Salam is accused of murdering civilians. Okay, so wait, I'll read it back further. The hidden prisoner rescued by from a Syrian prison by CNN was a member of Bashar al-Assad's forces who tortured and killed civilians. A new report claims the prisoner, identified as Salama Mohammed Salama, was a first lieutenant in the Syrian Air Force intelligence under former President Assad's regime. The Syrian fact-checking organization Verify reported, whatever that means. Salama is accused of murdering civilians and being responsible for the detention and torture of young men in homes on false charges, the organization claimed, citing local residents. Now, Salama has also been accused of theft, extortion, and coercing residents to become informants and of taking part in military operations in multiple fronts in Homs in 2014. Salama was found by CNN's chief international correspondent, Clarissa Ward, lying under a blanket in a Damascus prison where he identified himself as a civilian father named Adel Gabal. CNN has since launched an investigation into his true identity. Oh, CNN is now doing that. First of all, CNN pulled this guy from that. I'm sure he was in there hiding. I don't believe they found him under the blanket. I believe he said who he said to them he was. I don't think that they actively aided and abided a terrorist or a prisoner of war at this point, technically. a war criminal if you're the people that have overrun Syria. You can look at it any way. Now, they released the bad guy of bad guys. Okay, there's no real good guys there aside from maybe the civilians that are just living their lives. Overall in Syria, it's a continual war zone. Like I said, it's not going to get any better for America with Assad being gone. It's not going to get any worse for America Assad being gone. It's kind of a terrorist just come out of that place, and they have historically. Now, Clarissa Ward here has got to have some egg on her face. You'd think she'd come out and apologize about it. No, CNN just says, oh, we're investigating. So the man claimed, their article goes on, the man claimed he was taken from his home in Homs, arrested 3 months ago, and interrogated about his phone contacts. He said that he was left without food or water for 4 days when his captors fled during the fall of Damascus to rebel forces. I knew that was a load of crap. You knew that was a horde of crap because you could see in the footage the guy wasn't malnourished. What's the rule of thumb? You can go a week without food, a couple days without water, like 2 days without water, something like that, and a night without shelter. And this guy was there for 4 days without food and water. I find that incredibly hard to believe that he was not on his deathbed. However, residents of Homs insisted that Salama was imprisoned in Damascus less than a month ago following a dispute with a high-ranking officer over money he allegedly extorted. So there's a chance that he was in that prison. And I do think he was in that prison when they found him. However, if they freed him, which I don't think they did, I think what happened is the rebels freed him and CNN goes, hey, let's get this on footage. Let's set this up so you guys look even better. Instead, CNN actually is saying, we want to look better like we're heroes. But they don't want to tell the rebels that. They just want to give the rebels and say, hey, we want to give you guys as much credibility and airtime as possible so people can see that you're doing the good work. And the rebels are thinking, that sounds like a good deal. Not realizing it's really just to try to make CNN look good. CNN doesn't do a damn thing for anybody aside from CNN and whatever Democrat operative they get paid from. That's it. It's the only people they do things for. Now, so the residents of Homs insist that Salama was in prison less than a month ago, as it says. Since then, he has reportedly been trying to garner sympathy, claiming he was forced to committing crimes when the regime collapsed, according to Verify Site. Salama is also said to have deactivated his social media accounts and changed his phone number in a bid to erase any evidence of his involvements in armed activities and war crimes. Ward and her team reportedly came across a locked cell, which is not true, there's no way, while going around a detention facility. At least I think there's no way, to clarify. Where many civilians had been tortured and killed, a Syrian rebel rebel guard is said to have shot open the door, revealing a trembling prisoner under a blanket. The man, who identified himself as Garbel, a father in Homs, told Ward that he had not seen sunlight in 3 months, which we know is absolute garbage. She gave him food and water before guiding him outside. However, Verify Sai raised doubts about the story, pointing out that the prisoner did not appear to react or blink when he was supposed to saw the sky for the first time in months. Exactly. He goes outside. It's not a dim place, Syria. I'm guessing they don't have a ton of cloud coverage that day or a lot of rain going on in the fucking desert. I don't know. I've never been there. Everything I've ever seen in Syria is desert, man. It could be beautiful. It could have been beautiful. It could be beautiful today. It could have lush vegetation and trees. I don't know. I've never been there. I'm sure there were trees. Still, you go out in the bright daylight from being inside in America in lit up rooms, and you go outside, you're fucking blinded. This guy looks straight up in the sky. I just got freedom! Is what he's doing, man. These guys are dumb as hell. Despite the purported harsh treatment of detainees in secret prisons, Garbal appeared clean, well-groomed, and physically healthy, with no visible signs of injuries or torture. An incongruous portrayal of someone allegedly held in solitary confinement in the dark for 90 days. This is something I said during the other part of the video. He was not tortured. If you're in a prison in Syria under the Assad regime, you're being beat the shit out of. You are not coming out of that looking fresh, clean clothes, healthy, good pallor. You're not looking like that. You're looking freaking tortured. Okay? You're not looking like you're coming out like this guy, able to walk of his own with his hands trembling. His hands are trembling because he's like, am I going to get away with this? That's that. He's like, oh, these guys are buying it. Just go with it because it looks like I'm legit. Just don't tell them the truth. Don't tell them the truth. How the Syrian rebels wouldn't have thought this through and known who this guy is far beyond me. And how CNN didn't even bother to think about who they were adding to their probably, okay, I'm going to say probably, fake video, setup video. Again, I can't prove it. I can't prove it. It just seems pretty clear. So, after conducting further investigations, Verify Sai said it could not verify Garbal's identity. However, after speaking with residents in Homs, they were able to identify him as Salama Muhammad Salama, also known as Abu Hamza. Residents of Al Bayada neighborhood said he was frequently stationed at the checkpoint in the area's western entrance, infamous for its abuses. Many were targeted simply for refusing to pay bribes, rejecting cooperation, or even for arbitrary reasons like their appearance, the organization claimed. CNN's team visited the prison while searching for the missing UF journalist Austin Tice, and it appears the prison was aware of the team's arrival. What happened to the prisoner after the CNN footage is unclear, as he was seen getting into a Red Crescent vehicle and then drove off. However, because the Red Crescent, or their version of the Red Cross, showed up to take care of this prisoner, they thought, and basically helped him get away. However, a CNN spokesperson told the Daily Beast that the events of the man's apparent rescue were accurately portrayed, which I don't believe, as reported by the network. No one other than CNN team was aware of our plans to visit the prison building featured in our report that day, the spokesperson said, which makes it even worse if it's faked. If no one there knew you showed up, it shows that you actively, if you fake this, actively were involved in freeing a fucking war criminal. CNN, take some accountability and gain some credibility back. If you ever want to do that, accountability is the way to go. Okay? The events transpired as they are filmed, he added. If this continues to go on and CNN keeps getting caught in shit like this, how do they stay in business? Like, just how? I don't get it. The decision to release a prisoner featured in our report was taken by the Guard, a Syrian rebel. We reported the scene as it unfolded, including what the prisoner told us with clear attribution. Look, I'm telling you right now, I don't believe for 5 seconds any of that. I believe exactly this happened. CNN went in, relatively unannounced. Everyone knew CNN's there. They tell the rebels, hey, we're CNN. Did you free anybody? So we got this guy we're questioning. All right, well, let's make it look like you guys are freeing him now. We'll set it back up. Maybe as you found him, maybe not. Who knows how they did that. And then we'll go through. You'll shoot the lock off. It'll be super dramatic. You'll be the hero. The Syrian rebels will look good on the international board. And it will garner so much sympathy from American viewers. And if you have sympathy from Americans in the Middle East, that means money from Americans to the Middle East. It's going to sound great to the rebels when CNN's thinking, man, we need to look better because we look like crap right now. We've been doing garbage. We've been lying. We're getting caught on all of it. We need to do something about this, especially being that Trump just got reelected. We got things to worry about now because we can't just fake Russian collusion anymore. We have to do something to look credible again and to look like we're the good guys and the heroes. Because journalism is falling apart in America. You saw the president of Axios losing his ever-loving freaking mind during the thing that he was getting an award. Oh, people aren't the journalists. Well, guess what, dude? Social media and the internet has made you guys irrelevant now. Regular folks can get out and tell the truth and get the news out there and show things that are necessary to show without having to maybe free war criminals in a staged footage. Maybe. Spokesperson, however, admitted that the prisoner might have provided Ward with a false name. We have subsequently been investigating his background and are aware that he may have given a false identity, the spokesperson said. We are continuing our reporting into this and the wider story. The funny part is, I'm going to show you this from the website here because it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. They underlined the word reporting when they said we're going to continue our reporting. This news source found CNN's credibility to be so low, so bad, so incongruous to fact that they had to underline reporting to clarify what CNN says. CNN does not give out the news, guys. CNN gives out editorials. And apparently frees war criminals. So, Clarissa Ward, you were posting and people were talking about you on X, about how you're the hero. You're the hero journalist going over there overseas. I saw so many posts on X about people saying that this bitch is a hero for going overseas and doing the good. Well, you've just aided and abetted a torturer who murdered women and children and men. How do you feel, Clarissa Ward? You were absolutely part of that, whether you staged this footage or not. In fact, if you came out and admitted you staged this footage, that might save your ass. I don't know if there's criminal charges that can be brought from this. I don't know. She's, as far as I know, she might still be in Syria. And if the rebels find out you helped, or that you decided to let the prisoner go, Clarissa, you might never go back to Syria again if you're home. And if you're there, I would be trying to get the hell out, because people are going to hear that you helped this guy get away. And that's probably not going to fly too well with some folks over there. Anyway, it's your buddy Moo Juice Magic. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Like I said, crazy stuff. CNN chicken noodling the news yet again. And Salama Mohammed Salama, torturer, creep, piece of crap that was before the Assad regime, may be free to roam again and cause more havoc. Now, from what I've heard, Assad is fleeing to Russia. We'll see how Syria goes with the rebels in charge now. We better keep an eye on terrorists coming out of Syria, because Assad was, at least, didn't want to get nuked. I don't know how the rebels feel about that. I'm not saying we should do it. I'm just saying that we still have that ability, and that makes people not want to mess with us too much. That and drones and soldiers and the best military force in the entire world. As China collapses, it's even better now for us. So, here we go. Anyway, like I said, I'm Moo Juice Magic. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. We're going to keep up on this and see if this guy ever gets found again, because I have a feeling he's wanted for war crimes and crimes against humanity. Anyway, like the video if you like it. Thumbs up this video if you think CNN should probably do a little bit better of a job. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you feel that way. I love you in the face, and I will see you guys later. Moo Juice Magic, and I am going to go do something to wash the CNN off my soul.